Greetings, and welcome to a long overdue vlog. I haven't actually done a vlog on the channel really since I started consolidating things back a couple of months ago and combining all of my efforts onto one main channel again. I mostly haven't done a vlog over the last couple of weeks because I live stream so much. People still have a chance to ask me how I'm doing, what's going on, in general, how things are. So I haven't felt overly pressed, but thought it was time to revive the series and keep doing vlogs again. I want to do at least once a week. We'll see how that goes. The big thing is that is stuff that's called Seraflow. That is actually my asthma medication. It has finally come in. It came in last Friday, and Friday or Saturday? I think it was Friday. I can't remember, but it came in. I'm now back on my asthma medication. Now, here's the thing, right? Normally, I take this stuff called Advair. Advair is really, really good. It's been around for about 18 years, but Advair is currently the patent for it is held by a company that is preventing other companies legally, preventing other companies in the US from making generics. So it costs $500 to get one for a month. A month supply of this drug is $500. 2 years ago, it was $325. So the price has been going up steadily over the last several years. Ever since I've been on it, it has gotten more and more and more expensive because more and more people are on it. There is no generic available for it in the US, and the company is preventing this legally. But other countries such as Canada, thank you, Canada, has more scrupulous and less exploitable rules for medication. So they have generics available in those countries. So I went to Canada and got my Seraflow. Thank you, Canada. My kindly neighbors to the north have provided me with the medication I need for a mere $130 for 3 months. So suddenly I'm back on my asthma medication. I have a bulk supply to last basically about half a year. And yeah, I'm good. I'm feeling much more normal. I'm not back to 100% yet. It's going to take about a week for that stuff to get back into my system, really get me back in the rhythm of things, but I'm feeling closer to normal. And I expect by the end of this week, I will feel about as close to 100% as I can get nowadays. Let's see what's been going on. Things have been going good on the Vaygrim's Chance 3 server, the Season 3 server, but you can definitely feel the lull. People are starting to kind of not hit burnout per se, but they're running out of ideas and they're running out of things that they want to start that they're thinking they can finish within the time allotted. I'm going to end the series at 100 episodes, but I've honestly had thoughts to pull that back down to maybe. I mean, I'm in the high 70s right now. I think my next episode is going to be 79. I'm considering ending it by 85 or 90. I don't know. I only have 20 episodes left, and 20 episodes at 3 episodes a week. That is 3. I can count 3, 6, 9, 12. I mean, basically, we're looking at a month and a half. In a month and a half, season 3 is going to end, and season 4 planning is already underway. We're already starting to work on what we're going to need, what is going to be required, etc., etc. Yeah. I'm of two minds about season 4. We have this big idea, but I don't know if we need to keep it top secret or if I should be sharing it with the community and building hype. I'm not sure. I don't know if I want to do a little teaser trailer once season 3 ends. You'll see what's happening because the end of season 3 is going to tie into the beginning of season 4. And I don't know if I'm going to tease that before or maybe start talking about the idea that we've got so people can get invested in it. I don't know what's going to happen. So I'm still evaluating that, but you can definitely feel the lull in things with season 3. I think Ferg is starting to run out of ideas, I think, because people don't want to start something they can't finish before the end of the season. They want to complete projects. So it's getting rough. I will even admit there's things that I'm starting to run out of ideas for. I've got some things that I want to do, some projects I want to wrap up, but there's some stuff that I'm starting to run out of ideas for. So it is getting a little thin, but I expect that I'll be able to fill another 20 episodes pretty easily. So yeah, I'm I'm feeling. I'm seeing people focusing more on 4 and less on 3 now, and I get that. I don't hold it against them. Um, let's see. Oh gosh, where to go next? Where to go next? I wrapped up Wolfenstein. That was my adult, my mature series. I wrapped up Wolfenstein, and I'm considering rerunning Alien Isolation that I recorded last year. Now, here's the thing, folks. If you're European, I don't know if European or like Asia Pacific countries, I don't know if you guys have the concept of a rerun. I don't know if you get that reference. A rerun is basically literally a rerun of an entire series. Nowadays, I think they call it like syndication or something like this, but basically, it happens a lot on cable. You have a series that will go through, let's say, a television show. New season starts up, they run 12 episodes, and then the season ends. In between that season and the next season, they'll rerun the entire season all over again. Reruns. What I said that I was going to do when I started syndicating, when I started combining the actual syndicating, when I started combining the, I have a hang now, hang on a sec. Total focus there. When I started combining the channels is I was going to start rerunning some stuff from the other channels on this one because a lot of people probably hadn't seen it. I'm considering doing a rerun of Alien Isolation. I would put in parentheses rerun at the beginning of the title so you would know this is something that was recorded last year and comments are not going to influence its outcome. I would still want comments because I would want feedback on the series and things of that nature. But I mean, this is going to be the entire run of a series of a game that I really enjoyed. But there was a couple of points where I had some technical faults. I was recording it in a new way that I hadn't done really before, and I was still figuring some things out. So there's going to be some flubs and foibles. But I really loved the series. I really adored the game. Because of the nature of my channel, and I want to keep it family friendly, I age restrict my mature games now. That is a thing that I'm going to stick to from this point forward. It actually limits me in terms of audience because I got 1/10 of the views on Wolfenstein: The New Order that I did on Vaygrim's Chance Season 3 or my Forgecraft videos or on Subnautica. I get tons of videos on Subnautica or views on Subnautica, a lot more than I was actually getting on Wolfenstein: The New Order because I age restricted it because the game is age restricted. If you buy the game on Steam, you're supposed to be 18 or older. So I basically that means that if I do Alien Isolation now, I would take it down from my other channel, my old channel. I would start running it on this channel, and I would age restrict it, which means it's going to limit the audience. So basically, I only do one age-restricted game at a time. Only one at a time. That way, I don't have too many series that are going that have a limited audience to them. And that is to, I'll be honest, protect my business. So, I'm considering rerunning Alien Isolation. Think about it. Let me know what you think. I would love to hear it. I could replay the game, but it would take a lot of the surprise and suspense out of the game because there's a lot of plot points where I know what's coming. And that would kind of ruin a lot of the jump scares and so on and so forth. Now, the game would still be fun. It would still be a blast. It would still be amazing. But it would not be quite on the same par as that first playthrough I did. And I want to share the first playthrough with those folks that haven't seen it yet. So it's something to think about. Let me think. What else? I'm trying to decide what other game I want to play through. The age restriction thing is now actually starting to, I will admit, it's cramping my style. But I do feel like it's the right move. If you have to actually enter past an age gate and you have to be 17 or older in order to view the trailers for a game on Steam, if it says mature rating, i.e. 17 plus, then I need to age restrict it 17 plus on YouTube. I feel that's only right. I feel that's the only proper thing to do, which means now stuff like, technically speaking, Dragon Age Origins would be age restricted. Oh gosh, let me pull up Steam here real quick. Hang on a sec. Ark Subnautica, Ark Survival Evolved would not. I haven't done a series on that. I'm still kind of figuring it out, but let's see. Borderlands 2 would be age restricted. Hitman Absolution would be age restricted. Fallout 4, technically speaking, let me see. Yeah, Fallout 4 would be age restricted. So, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that deals with any game that is 17 plus is like, that way for violence or adult subject matter like death, killing people, et cetera, et cetera. So there's a lot of games that suddenly I can't run multiple series of at once, at least not really in good conscience. Rise of the Tomb Raider, I have, and I think I can capture it now. I would have to run that game on easy. I'm going to warn you ahead of time, but it looks really interesting. I want to play it. I'm just not really good at the jumping puzzle stuff, so I would probably have to run that on easy in order to make the jumping puzzles a little bit more forgiving. But that game is age restricted. So I would have to age restrict it as well. So I'm going to need input from you, my audience. I need you guys to let me know, what do you want to see? Would you rather see a rerun, or would you rather see something new for now and save the reruns for later? I do want to put that content up on the channel at some point. So if we don't do it now, we're just delaying the inevitable. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff like that that I've been holding off on. I have Submerged. Submerged looks like an amazing game. I got it based on the recommendations of my friend Shads, A7X Shadows. And I cannot wait to play that, but I have been waiting for him to finish his playthrough so I can start mine, because I don't want to run mine at the same time he's running his. That seems like that would be not unfair, because, I mean, people would started watching his first. They're not going to immediately leave his series to go to mine, but it just seems kind of rude to me. I don't know. It's a social thing. But that game is not age restricted. I might run that in parallel with something else. The Witcher 3. The Witcher 3 is, let's look at it. Overwhelmingly positive, not age restricted. That seems kind of dicey. Maybe it's because it's not human stuff, or mostly human stuff. You're fighting monsters or something. I don't know. But it's not age restricted on Steam. I do have The Witcher 3, The Wild Hunt. I have Witcher 2, thanks to a wonderful viewer of mine. I probably would actually start with Witcher 3, though, because it's more updated, better looking graphics, more content, etc., etc. But, yeah, I need to, new series or rerun. I need to know from you guys. Let me know. So, now moving on to the business side of things, away from the games and in the back end, merchandise. I have tried various things in the past. I did have, and technically still do have, a Spreadshirt store. If you go to vaygrim.spreadshirt.com, that is actually a thing, I think, unless I shut it down. But we ordered some shirts from Spreadshirt, and the first order we did was messed up. The second order we did, like when I say messed up, one shirt was a complete misprint, and a second shirt smelled basically like it had been sitting in it was still wet, and it felt like it smelled like it had been sitting in a bucket of vinegar for about a week. It was horrible. We had to trash it. We washed it a couple of times and couldn't save it. I had to wash it alone too, small load, because I didn't want anything else smelling like that. I have not been satisfied with Spreadshirt, so we did Teespring. Teespring was a thing where you can start up your own campaign and basically run a limited campaign when you want to. The only hitch is with Teespring, a campaign runs until a certain number of minimum order of shirts gets ordered, and then the campaign prints and it finishes. If people don't catch within that little window, they can't order that shirt or that hoodie or whatever is in that campaign. It's gone. So a lot of people, that didn't align with their financial timing, and that didn't work very well. So now what we're moving to is the option through a company called printaura.com, I think it is, to run and manage our own print-on-demand website through Vaygrim.com. So it would be shop.vaygrim.com or vaygrim.com/shop. Either one would work. That would take you to a store page where you would have, you'd have to log in with something like either make an account or log in with Twitter, and you would order stuff. You could order specific things whenever you wanted to. I just want this hat, or I just want this shirt, or this coffee mug, et cetera, et cetera. And that way we could actually have better, let me move my mic over a little bit, better on-demand printing. And we would be able to do things where we offered a shirt. Once it went into the store, it could always be there. We would have control over when sales are. I would be able to do sales when I wanted to, for as long as I wanted to, for as much as I wanted to. within reason. So that's the thing. That's the thing to consider. Keep that in mind over the coming weeks. Hopefully, we're going to get some finalized artwork back in from an artist that I've commissioned, and for some logos and some business stuff. Once that comes in, we're going to get the store up, and we're going to get it all finalized and get it all set up. So there will be a point where you'll see an announcement, and the store will come up on the website. You'll see an announcement video right here on the channel. And we're probably going to have League of Ordinary Gamers shirts available, probably a couple of Vaygrim t-shirt patterns. And I'm trying to make a General Grimco shirt that we can actually put out there. So you can support your oppressive, omnipotent over corporation of choice. Excuse me, I'm going to drink a little bit. So keep your eyes open for that announcement. I'm hoping it will be set up smoothly and simply, and there won't be any bumps, but it might be that I have to have somebody do some test orders to make sure that it works. We'll see how that goes. I'm going to plan on doing an announcement video for that once the website is up and ready for public use. So just keep an eye open. So yeah. Oh, I'm also trying to see if I can get some artwork done for the Coop Street Mafia, so we can actually have Coop Street Mafia shirts. If anybody remembers that run from Forgecraft 2, when I actually had the Coop, I lived as a chicken for the entire run. It was pretty popular. I'm going to try and see if I can actually get one of those made, and that's going to be one of the patterns I am looking to get done. The Cafemancy shirt will come back. All sorts of stuff. We've got a lot of designs. I might do the coffee bucket shirt also, but we'll see. Yeah. Okay. This is the point where I'm going to warn everybody that doesn't play Pokemon Go. I'm about to talk about Pokemon Go probably for the better part of about 10 minutes. So if you're not a Pokemon Go person and you don't get it, leave now. You have been warned. Let's see if I get this set up right. Push the button and... Ooh, what's this? Okay, so I actually have... This is my phone. This is live. I'm this wonderful software called AirPlay that I have gotten that lets me actually transmit directly, screen mirroring is what it's called, directly from my phone to my desktop computer, which means I can actually capture that now, which means I could do mobile games. Now, I have an iOS device, so it's going to be stuff that's available in the iOS store. That may or may not mean that it's games that are available in the Google Android store also. I don't know, but I will try and make sure that I do not do too many game titles. If I start doing quick looks at mobile games, I'll try not to actually... I'll try not to do too many that are just, an iOS exclusive. I'll try and hit games that are in both stores on a regular basis. And that's pretty easy now because a lot of popular games are in both stores. Anyway, Pokemon Go. I've been playing a lot of Pokemon Go, got into it with the wife. We've been having a blast playing it. It's really, really fun. It's a great social kind of a game. We've actually been meeting a lot of really nice people here in and around the Houston area as we go out to parks. We're doing it primarily at night because in Houston, it is abysmally hot right now. Abysmally hot. So we've been doing a lot of nighttime, crawling around in the car at low speeds in back neighborhoods, looking for wild spawns and working off egg hatching. If you look, okay, I'm going to show you guys a tip real quick first. You can push the Pokemon ball and bring up the menu, right? If you just press and hold, and then swipe a direction and let go, it will bring up that menu. So if you do a swipe left and hold and release, it brings up your Pokemon. If you do a swipe right and release, it brings up your items. A long swipe up and release brings up the Pokédex. Short swipe up brings up the store. It's real simple. It's real easy to do. All of my eggs, but we've been working up egg distance. If you are going slower than 20 miles an hour, it still counts as a valid movement speed because the game is geared around walking, jogging, and bicycling. If you go faster than 20 miles an hour, you're going too fast and the game stops tracking your distance. So that's something to remember. So a lot of times we're going like 15 miles an hour through a back neighborhood that's a quiet residential area where everybody's asleep anyway. Nobody knows we're there. We don't make any noise. And we just kind of crawl around, do some loops through the neighborhood, look for wild encounters at various places on like corners and stuff. That's it. But we've been spending a lot of time going to parks, and the parks have been really, really cool. Um, we've had an exciting time doing those, specifically because we've been running across some pretty amazing numbers and pretty amazing places where, like, in Discovery Green, we have a park area in downtown Houston called Discovery Green that's got no less than about 20 Pokestops. And last night when we drove past there, 10 p.m. on a Sunday night, 17 of those 20 are within, I don't know, 200, 100 yards. Yeah, 100 yards. They're within 100 yards of each other. They're all within 100-yard space, and they were all lured for hours. There was thousands and thousands of people at this park at 10 p.m. on a Sunday night, just sitting on the grass, hitting all these various stops. There were tons of places where you could actually reach clicking distance and spinning distance up to 6 or 7 different Pokestops, at least 5 in several instances, at least. So, I mean, it's an XP jackpot. Next Sunday night, the wife and I, or Saturday night, maybe, if it's not too abysmally hot after dark, the wife and I are considering actually just going up there for a couple hours, maybe, and doing that. But, yeah, it's been fun. We've been meeting a lot of great people and running into folks that, strike up a conversation. Oh, you're playing Pokemon Go, and you give them tips. Hey, I caught a something over there at that place. And, oh, and they rush off and they thank you for it. And it's really cool. It's been fun. It's been great to interact and, meet new folks and generally be able to strike up a conversation with a friendly stranger. It's been cool. If you play Pokemon Go, one thing I want to give you a suggestion on real quick is what's called the curveball. A lot of people don't know about this. This is a number 6, but this is basically what you need to do. When you actually have your phone, you can spin the ball. When you push down during a fight, when you're fixing to capture a Pokemon, you put your finger down and that picks up the Pokeball like you're fixing to flick it straight forward to bounce it off of the actual Pokemon and capture it. What you can do is when you push your finger down and hold it counterclockwise, wind it counterclockwise, and then flick it up and to the right. You're aiming for the middle of the right side of your screen. If you do that, the ball will curve out. Oh, there we go. Curve out, and it will curve back in and bounce off the actual Pokemon. It's going to take a couple of swings to get used to it, but it's basically a figure 6. You are doing that circle counterclockwise and then aiming for the middle of the right side of your screen. It'll curve ball, it'll come back, it'll bounce off the Pokemon. Now, originally, everybody said the curveball gave you bonus experience. That is true. And that it aided in making a Pokemon easier to capture. That's not true. People have actually checked the code for the game. All it does is give you bonus experience. But I have determined that there are some smaller sized Pokemon that I can only hit with a curveball. They're much, much, much easier to land a ball on and capture them if I curveball throw at them. And it's getting to where I use curveball primarily for everything. I don't throw a straight shot anymore. It's just easier for my aiming. So that's something to consider, something to think about, the curveball trick. Let's see. If you have an Eevee, let's see if I can pull this up real quick. There's an Eevee right there. The Eevee has 3 evolutions. Actually, let me see if I can find it in the Pokédex. Where are you, Eevee? Okay. Eevee has 3 evolutions. If you look right here, number 132, middle of the screen, right next to that is Eevee. Then there's a space, 134, and then 135 is actually an Eevee evolution. Eevee can actually evolve into 3 different Pokemon. There's the water type up there at the top, that is Vaporeon. There's the electric type in the middle, Jolteon, and at the bottom is Flareon. Now, there's an easy trick. If you want specifically, let's say I want to specifically get a Flareon because I already have a Jolteon. If you just evolved an Eevee right now, it would be random. Luck of the draw. But what you can actually do is change the nickname of your Eevee. If you change it to Rainer, you'll get a Vaporeon, water type. If you change it to Sparky, you will get a electric type, Jolteon, what I have. And if you change it to Pyro, you'll get a fire type, Flareon. So now when I upgrade this Eevee, I'm guaranteed to get a Flareon. Most people don't know this. Most people aren't aware that this is a thing. This has to do with the lore from when the Eevee Pokemon was introduced into the games way back when. There were 3 brothers, and each one had a specific different evolution. One brother was named Pyro, and he had a Flareon, fire type. There was one that was named Rainer, and he had a Vaporeon, water type. And there was a third named Sparky, who had a electric type, Jolteon. So if you name your Eevee after one of those brothers, you will get the corresponding elemental type. It's a really cool thing. A lot of people don't know about that. So yeah, I need to reorganize this because I like being able to find things. Anyway, it's been a fun game. It's been really cool. We've been having a lot of fun with it. So far, we've only put money into it for the sake of buying some incense and some lures, and that's about it. We don't have to spend money to buy Pokeballs. We've been managing our inventory space. You do have a limited amount of inventory space. If you look across the top here, you'll see 287 out of 350 items. You have a maximum number of items you can carry. So you can max out on Pokeballs and you can't carry anymore. But like right now, I've got 80 Pokeballs and 31 Great Balls. I'm okay. We have routes that we go through that have Pokestops that you can spin. So we'll go through a drive that's got a whole bunch of them on like a couple of city blocks. We'll do the loop. It's over here near the house. We'll do the loop a couple of times and hit all the Pokestops. And we'll maybe do that 2 or 3 times. It'll take us 10 or 15 minutes tops. And by the time we get through with those 2 or 3 loops, we have completely maxed out our Pokeballs. We've completely maxed out our Great Balls. We've got tons of potions if we're going to do gym fights and stuff like that. Not that big a deal. And it works. It's fine. It's an okay thing. That means we don't have to spend any money on Pokeballs. Honestly, if you plan well and you do some mapping in your area, you won't have to either. Now, there is going to be a certain audience of people that want to play this, but live in an extremely rural area or a spread out area, edge of town. I am sorry, unfortunately, you are kind of being left out on this game because there's not a lot of stuff out there. You have to come in town to enjoy a lot of the content. There is no way around that at present. Sorry. Anyway, I'm not going to go on and on very much longer about Pokemon. I think this has covered it for right now. I actually did put an article on my website. If you go to Vaygrim.com, I posted a news article about some tips and tricks. There's different things that a lot of people don't know, like incense. It's actually better to use incense while you're mobile than stationary. You get more Pokemon when you do it while you're mobile. Most people don't realize that. All sorts of stuff like that. So consider going over to Vaygrim.com and reading top news article about Pokemon Go if you're interested in the game itself. Otherwise, I'm going to put a link in the video description below to the League of Ordinary Gamers Discord server. We actually have a Pokemon Go channel. Plus, if you're not interested in Pokemon Go and you've made it this far into the video, we'll just go hang out, sign up, and you can talk to other people. We've got channels about Minecraft, FPS games where we talk about stuff like Overwatch and Team Fortress 2. We've got a channel where we talk about survival games like Subnautica and, Ark or other things like that. So yeah, consider coming, hanging out, and just talking to the community. I'm going to talk to you folks later. Thank you very, very much for being here, and I'll catch you later in the week. This will be going up on Monday. So on Tuesday, there is going to be 2 o'clock live stream on Forgecraft 2. There is a world gen bug. Right now, if you make new chunks, it hangs and crashes the server. And I think we've got people that are stuck in new chunks. One of which is my friend, TTFT Cuts. So I don't know what the status of the Tuesday live stream is going to be. We might be able to do it. We might not be able to because of the server quandaries. But keep your eyes on twitter.com/Vaygrim or on Vaygrim.com for updates. You can go to Vaygrim.com/streaming, or there's a little clicky at the top of the page on the main website. And that's my streaming schedule. I'll catch you folks later. Have a good one. Bye-bye.